grim, miserable. I don't think we've seen anything like it for 80 years in Europe, and what Putin is doing is unconscionable.
Boris Johnson is a British politician. In July 2009, after Theresa May stepped down as Prime Minister following her party's majority loss, Queen Elizabeth II appointed Boris Prime Minister. Johnson previously served as the Mayor of London from 2008 to 2016. He's the second Prime Minister in British history to be born outside of the British Isles. In 1997, he was honored with the What the Papers Say Awards with the Commentator of the Year award. He was named Pagan Federation of Great Britain National Journalist of the Year in 1998. He was voted Editor's Editor of the Year in 2003.
That the Ukrainians were going to mount the resistance that they are, and he totally misunderstood what Ukraine is.
If you enjoy these videos, please remember to hit the like button, as it does help us out a lot. And comment below who your favorite celebrity is that you'd love to see in an upcoming video. His full name is Alexander Boris de Pfeffel Johnson, but is also known as Boris Johnson, Nicer Donald Trump, the Blonde Bombshell, Bojo, Beano Boris. He was born June 19, 1964 in New York City, making him age 58 at the time of this production. He stands at 1.8 meters or 5 feet 10 inches tall. Boris Johnson said in an interview that kebabs are his favorite healthy meal. Johnson's political positions generally follow one-nation conservatism, and commentators have described his political style as opportunistic, populist, and pragmatic. For most of his life, he held dual citizenship, U.S. and U.K. He renounced his U.S. citizenship in 2016 to show his allegiance to the United Kingdom. Boris Johnson is the first prime minister to marry in office since Lord Liverpool tied the knot with Mary Chester in 1822. He's often seen riding his bicycle. Donald Trump has expressed his fondness for Johnson, saying he's a very talented guy who would make a great prime minister. In 2018, he was widely criticized for writing a newspaper article in which he compared Islamic women who wear the burqa to letterboxes and bank robbers, although he was defended by comedian Rowan Atkinson, who thought it was a good joke. He was the first British Prime Minister to move into number 10 Downing Street with his girlfriend. He was the first British Prime Minister to lose his or her first vote in the House of Commons since 1783. He's the first Prime Minister born outside of the British Isles since Bonar Law. He's the first Prime Minister during the reign of Queen Elizabeth II to have been born overseas. Just after his resignation, Burger King drove a truck around Westminster with a billboard featuring the phrase, "Turns out there is such a thing as too many Whoppers," next to their logo. In early April 2022, Johnson decided to ban conversion therapy for sexual orientation, but not for transgender Britons, despite his previous commitment to end such treatment for all LGBT people. He defended his decision, citing complexities and sensitivities, adding that he thought biological males should not compete in women's sports and women should have their own changing rooms. From 1987 to 1993, Boris was married to Allegra Mostanoan, the daughter of a famous art historian and an Italian writer. Just 12 days after his divorce from Allegra was finalized, Boris married Marina Wheeler. They separated in 2018. In 2021, he married Carrie Simmons. Boris has 6 children, 4 from his relationship with Wheeler, 1 from an affair, and another from Carrie Johnson.
Really emerged as this giant geopolitical fact that he can't subjugate Ukraine. He can't win in that sense.
He was born to 23-year-old Stanley Johnson, then studying economics at Columbia University, and 22-year-old Charlotte Fawcett, an artist from a family of liberal intellectuals. Johnson's parents had married in 1963 before moving to the United States. In September 1964, they returned to their native England so that Charlotte could study at the University of Oxford. During this time, she lived with her son in Summertown, a suburb of Oxford, and in 1965, she gave birth to a daughter, Rachel. In 1970, Charlotte and children briefly returned to Nethercote, where Johnson attended Winsford Village School before returning to London to settle in Primrose Hill, where they were educated at Primrose Hill Primary School. Johnson gained a King Scholarship to study at Eton College, a boarding school near Windsor in Berkshire. He proceeded to study classics at Balliol College, Oxford, on a scholarship. Boris started his career as a journalist. He worked for The Times and the Daily Telegraph. From 1994, he served as assistant editor for the Daily Telegraph, then worked as an editor at The Spectator from 1999 to 2005. Johnson's first political office position came in 2001 when he was elected as a member of the Parliament for Henley. In 2007, Boris Johnson announced his candidacy for the position of Mayor of London in the 2008 mayoral election. In 2008, he defeated the Labour Party incumbent Ken Livingstone and became Mayor of London. He oversaw the 2012 London Olympic Games and banned alcohol on public transportation. In 2012, Johnson was re-elected, again defeating Ken Livingstone. In 2015, he was elected as MP for Uxbridge and South Ruislip. Despite numerous allegations pertaining to extramarital affairs and other controversies, he continued to remain a popular politician. During the 2015-16 Brexit campaign, Boris supported the Vote Leave campaign. Upon its victory, he was regarded as the next frontrunner for the Prime Minister post. However, he refused the Conservative candidacy, and Theresa May became the Prime Minister. In October 2019, Parliament was dissolved and a new election was called. On December 12, 2019, Boris was re-elected, and his Conservative Party gained their largest majority in 30 years. On July 7, 2022, after a series of scandals and resignations within his own party, Boris Johnson announced he would voluntarily resign as Prime Minister.
A great military expert, but that is where we think that things could certainly go.
The year before becoming Prime Minister, Boris earned around $1 million, of which $450,000 came from a salary to write a weekly column for the Daily Telegraph. He had to give up his job upon becoming Prime Minister. He also previously was able to do lucrative speaking engagements, which could pay as much as $200,000 per speech. His annual salary as Prime Minister is equal to $220,000. During his time serving as Prime Minister, Boris had reportedly complained in private about his financial situation. He reportedly lost much of his wealth after his 2018 divorce from his wife of nearly 30 years, Marina Wheeler. When he leaves the office of Prime Minister, Boris is expected to make a fortune from speaking fees. He has a net worth of $2 million. When he was with Marina Wheeler, the couple owned an impressive mansion in the London borough of Islington. As part of their divorce, they sold this property in 2019 for the equivalent of $4.6 million. Even after the divorce, Boris continued to own a cottage in Oxfordshire, which he rents out for $6,000 to $7,000 per month. The house features 4 bedrooms. The fairy tale cottage comes equipped with 2,659 square feet of inside space spread over 2 floors, including a large sitting room, a dining area, and a spacious galley kitchen with a small breakfast zone at one end where it would be easy to create a cool coffee station or at-home bar. He also continues to own a 20% share of his family's longtime estate in the remote area of Exmoor. Upon marrying Carrie in 2021, the couple paid $1.65 million for a house in South London. He owns the following cars: a Mitsubishi Outlander PHEV, a Nissan Leaf, a Toyota Previa GX, a Toyota Mirai, a Range Rover,